Good morning, everybody. Ian Maddox, HMFP, connecting with you on our weekly Financial Planning Simplified video series. And we're about to wrap up a four-part video series on Roth IRAs. First week, we really just talked about definitions, contribution limits, etc. Week two, we talked about some creative ways that even folks that are above the income limit that would traditionally not be able to access a Roth can do so. Last week, we talked about using Roth IRA assets potentially for college expenses, and today we're going to talk about that holy grail, which is legacy, taking some of your assets and being able to project those into the future for kids or grandkids or some other party that we want to gift and bless after we're gone. So I'm not going to cover all of the details of how this might work, but let me just give you the background here. Is again tapping into the knowledge of the previous video series, how the Roth works, how the money gets into it. So let's remember this. Assets inside of a Roth go into it after tax. They grow tax deferred. And potentially, if we follow two rules, 59.5, account's been open for 5 years. I know I've said this again and again, but it's really important to remember you can take the assets out tax-free. So let's say potentially that you've got multiple accounts. You've got a taxable account, you've got an IRA, traditional, you've got a Roth IRA. You might look at all those assets and say, look, I need to draw some money off of this for retirement, or maybe I don't. But I know this piece over here. I want to look at my assets, and is there some assets here that I can just extend into the future? So the Roth can be a very powerful tool to do that, because remember, following those check boxes, 59.5, 5 years, we can take distributions tax-free. Well, what happens if we don't need the Roth IRA assets for our own purposes? What happens when we pass away? All right? Just like with a traditional IRA, you will have to continue or begin, depending on how old you are when you pass, what are called required minimum distributions. On a traditional IRA, that age is 70.5. You do not have to take an RMD off of a Roth IRA. However, your heir does. So remember these things. Tax-deferred growth, tax-free if over 59.5, been in the account for 5 years. So if you pass away at 75, you've had an account for 30 years. We've checked all those boxes, right? We're old enough. The account's been open long enough. We never touch the assets. We pass away. Generation 2 inherits the Roth IRA. Guess what? They do have to begin required minimum distributions. Guess what again? Those distributions are completely tax-free. That's a pretty powerful legacy to give someone qualified assets or tax-advantaged assets that they can continue to distribute for a long period of time without the burden of tax. So that's a pretty neat way to take some of your assets and be able to gift them to someone in a very tax-friendly, advantageous way. So that concludes our series on Roth IRAs. Look forward to connecting with you again soon. Ian Maddox, HMFP. Until next time, have a great day.